What was something spine-chilling that a parent said to you? When you were born, I prayed you would die. My mother said this to me on my 18th birthday. We were alone in our kitchen. No cake, no celebration. Just the two of us, and a truth she'd kept buried for nearly 2 decades. I'd always known something was wrong. Mom never hugged me, never said I love you. She did the bare minimum, kept me fed, clothed, in school. But there was always this coldness, this distance I couldn't understand. Dad left when I was 4. I barely remember him. Mom always said he couldn't handle being a father, but I wondered if he just couldn't handle her. That night, she poured herself a glass of wine and stared at me across the kitchen table. You look just like him, she said. I thought she meant my father. I was wrong. I was forced, she continued, her voice flat. I was 19. He was my professor. Nobody believed me. The room seemed to tilt. I gripped the edge of the table. When I found out I was pregnant, it was too late for an abortion in our state. My parents were religious. They said it was God's plan. She took another sip of wine. So when you were born, I prayed you would die. Every night for months, I stood over your crib and wished you would just stop breathing. I couldn't speak, couldn't move. I wanted to give you up for adoption, but my parents threatened to disown me, said I needed to take responsibility. She laughed bitterly, as if I had a choice in any of it. My entire life suddenly made sense. The emotional neglect, the way she could never look me in the eyes for too long, the flinching when I moved too quickly. Why are you telling me this now? I finally managed to ask. Because you're 18. You're not my responsibility anymore. And I need you to understand why I can't love you the way a mother should. She slid an envelope across the table. Your birth certificate. Your father's name is on it. What you do with that information is up to you. I moved out that night, stayed with a friend until I figured things out. I never looked up the man who was biologically my father. Some truths aren't worth knowing. 5 years passed before I saw my mother again. I was graduating college, something I'd done entirely on my own. I spotted her in the back row during the ceremony. She left before I could reach her. That night, I found a card in my mailbox. Inside was a check for $10,000 and a note. This doesn't make up for anything, but it's everything I have. I couldn't love you, but I never stopped trying to. Maybe that counts for something. It was signed simply, your mother. I never cashed the check, never contacted her again. Some wounds can't be healed with money or apologies, and I don't know if that makes it better or infinitely worse.